We were treated to an out-of-towner too, Andy, from Seattle, I'm pretty sure. Just passing through and happened to have his hammered dulcimer on hand. So unique, such beautiful musicality. I could have listened to his creative magic all night long. Then it happened. I'm sitting there drinking Coke, right? So it's about time for a bathroom break, but I can't leave because I couldn't miss anything. This guy takes the stage, a thin, tall young man, well, 28 years old as informed later, with guitar in hand, spiked dark hair. He started to play and sing with such overwhelming passion and a beauty of a voice. Jordan strummed. He rocked that small stage like crazy. You know how you think about seeing someone and it pops into your head, a star is born? Well, that's what popped into my head and heart right then and there. The X Factor, you might say. He's got it. On stage, the passion just exploded from this musical artist. Sure enough, when I asked if he'd tell me a little about himself so I could include it on my blog write-up of the Enchanted evening, he explained that he had just signed on with Seven Spin Music here in Valpo to record his debut album. So he's a new Valpo resident, came from South Carolina, but he was born in Arkansas. Many of his songs were just written about a week ago. Also, he shared that it was his brother who got the guitar for Christmas when he was younger, and Jordan would play hooky from school so he could sneak and begin his guitar practice. I'm thinking to myself, what an interesting, talented guy. Yes, sir, a star is being born. I'm sure of it, right here in Valpo, Indiana. I couldn't even start writing this blog when I got home because I had to spend the first hour learning about him and listening to some of his amazing music and lyrics. The strange thing about Jordan, Embers of Brave, he rocked, really rocked the Cornucopia Coffee House when he performed, but I didn't catch it the first time around. His lyrics, they're of a spiritual nature. He's a Christian rock singer-songwriter. I felt embarrassed that I had no idea of where Embers of Brave originated. He clued me in, a proverb from the book of Job. I made sure I emailed him and let him know about the Pulse Christian Rock Music Festival every year here in South Bend, Indiana, because I'd love to see him perform there in the summer. So check him out on my Facebook timeline or on YouTube.com, Embers of Brave, a New Chapter Video Diary. And be sure to watch for this rising star. One more tidbit about this musician. He was born legally deaf in one ear, the left, I believe. He says it still bothers him somewhat, but he manages. Thank God, as he professed. Jordan thanks God for everything, by the way. So do I. We have that in common with a lot of people. The magic did not end there, believe me. Another unique musical artist took the stage. I could not listen fast enough to follow his fingers making jazzy music on that guitar of his. All instrumental, upbeat, kind of like a bluegrass, jazzy, folksy, I don't know what you'd call it sound. All I know is I loved it, and everyone else did too. He won the contest for the night. He was kind enough, too, to answer a few questions for me. So he stood there and I questioned him, while Kyle, K. Douglas, his performer's name, gave me such interesting answers and information about himself, the musician. Apparently he had taken some lessons for about a year in time, but it wasn't giving him what he needed, so he just persevered and taught himself. He paid tribute to Jimi Hendrix for the inspiration he felt at 11 years old, and to his mom for making sure he never gave up. I asked what kind of music it is, and he said he thinks of it as swing. Like I said, it's so unique, but his musical fingers truly must be the fastest guitar-playing fingers in the Midwest, maybe the world. Then he got philosophical on me, too, shared his feelings, his message, that we, as a society, pay way too much time embracing commercial musicians rather than true talent. We talked about Adele, how unique and special she is, and how long it took her to become appreciated. I told him the only thing missing from the unforgettable night was a saxophone, and he agreed, again expressing the need for a return to true talent like Louis Armstrong and all the other past legends and newcomers to the music world who truly deserve recognition. K. Douglas, yes indeed, another amazing talent. Watch for this rising star, too, because I'm sure he's right when he says he's going to persevere and make a music career for himself. I'm sure we will be enjoying his exceptionally gifted music someday, right here and now, if he keeps showing up at Cornucopia. Oh, I can't forget that fancy French tattoo he has on his right arm. Classy Kyle. Had to mention that. Listen and enjoy at youtube.com. Kyle Douglas Live, 21612 Art Gallery, Hammond, Indiana. I almost forgot that intriguing trio. Sometimes I do forget things or get something wrong here and there. At times I can even be known as the blooper writer. So just forgive me if I get anything wrong here, okay? So the trio, Derek rocked on the bongo, or no idea how to pronounce this, the djembe bongo drum, as he informed me. Said he couldn't haul around drums, so this is the next best thing, and he sure is good at playing it. Plays other instruments, too. Darren accompanied the band with this awesome electric guitar touch. Then, of course, to make the band complete, Colin with his vocals. Another one, I couldn't believe the talent. I loved his voice and guitar playing, just loved it. Derek and I had some fun just before leaving. I told him I grew up playing the drums. I just had to borrow his bongo and play Wipeout. Then he chimed in and of course did it almost as good as me. Just kidding. I sat there thoroughly excited and entertained for the whole Enchanted evening. Throughout the musical show I was privy to, Caleb did a fine job of introducing performers and welcoming everyone, including me. I believe he handled the sound system, too. The finale, a twosome, all-instrumental, charming, harmonizing guitar music by Blind Melon, Yoder, and Otis, local performers who managed perfect harmony. I loved the rendition of Paper Moon. I've never met the owner of the coffee house, maybe someday, but in the meantime, I'd like to say, just keep up the good work. It's so refreshing and important for creative people to have somewhere to go in order to share their work. So thanks, and to all of the amazing musicians I met, live your dreams because you sure do deserve it. Cut. That's a wrap. The end. That's as good as it gets, as Jack Nicholson would say. Rock on.